I really want to welcome you this morning. My name's Bert Glennon. In case you don't know me, I can't imagine you don't know me, but if you don't, we'll meet before you leave today, let me tell you. It is a thrill for me to welcome you. This is our fall 2014 welcoming first year introduction to everybody. And I got to tell you something. You guys look good. You really do. Do you feel good? Today, we are going to have several talks from students, which I think you're going to really be delighted with. We are starting our 2014-15 academic year, and by the way, for those of you who have been here from day one, this is our, what orientation? Sixth. We are 6 years old today. And I rehearsed that last night because I kept saying sex. Sixth years today. And my wife said, that won't work tomorrow. So, welcome and congratulations on our sixth orientation. We have done some phenomenal things. We're a model institution. And I got to tell you that we have some great things to talk about celebrating today as well. We have several new employees joining us since our last address. Can I have everyone stand that this is their first CWI orientation meeting? It's okay to stand. It's all right. Those of you that, give them a hand. We welcome you. Thank you. We welcome you to the CWI family, and believe me, it is a family. We fight like a family, we work like a family, and we really produce like a family. It is amazing the things that we've been performing on. I'd like to take a few minutes to welcome a few of our special guests here today. We had a 5-hour, 6-hour Board of Trustee meeting yesterday, and I think we exhausted 3 of the 5 members, so we only have 2 members here today. Stan Bastian, our board chair, please stand. And please be aware that I always follow the lead of my board chair. Gordon Browning was the other board member. Gordon Browning? Is Gordon Browning here? Oh, we exhausted 4 of the 5. So, Stan, I just want to let you know that I always wait, and as a good president, I'm always prepared. So I wait until Stan comes into the room, and if he has a tie, then I have a tie. If he doesn't have a tie, I don't have a tie. So those of you that have ties, you can take them off and relax. This is a down-home meeting. Don't worry about it, okay? President's Cabinet, those of you that may not know the President's Cabinet, David, Cheryl, Craig, President's Cabinet. Those that are on the President's Cabinet, please stand up. Will, Brenda, Tony, Lillian. Thank you. Foundation board members. What does this mean? All the board members are out raising money. Give them a hand. They're out raising money for us today. I am thrilled that we do have 2 distinguished guests with us from outside our regular organization, and believe me, this is a real thrill. Caldwell Superintendent Tim Rodici. Tim, give him a big hand. Nampa School District Superintendent David Peterson, give him a hand. These are our partners, and believe me, each and every day we're growing stronger and stronger, students coming from the K-12 system and moving right to CWI. This whole theme of this is you are making a difference, and believe me, I am so proud and honored to be your president out in the community, because when I meet with superintendents and when I meet with chambers and when I meet with economic development, workforce development, I can't tell you, there's no way for me to relate to you what kind of an impact you're having. But you are making a huge difference in the Treasure Valley, and I'm really proud of that. I hope that when we finish today, you get it, and you understand that each and every person in this room has a chance to make a difference with somebody. And I don't care whether you're a janitor, I don't care whether a sanitary engineer, I don't care whether you're an electrician, I don't care whether you teach in the faculty, I don't care whether you're a frontline person. Faculty have a huge contact in the classroom, but everybody on our campus has the opportunity to have a huge impact on a student and make a difference with students. We also have here today the brand new, I mean fresh as of a couple weeks ago. He's so new, he didn't wear a tie either. but his name is Dwight Johnson, the State Director of Professional Technical Education. Dwight, thank you for coming today. And the most important group that I want to acknowledge as the introduction is our associated students of CWI who have significantly made a difference in us and how we perform and what we do. The ASCWI officers, please stand. Please stand. Come on, give them a big hand. This is what we're all about as students. This is what we're all about. Before I go into all the humdrum data, which I know you enjoy, you live for that. That's not the breakfast, you come for the data, because we're a data-driven institution. But before we get to all these accomplishments from last year and the goals of this coming year, which are fairly significant, I'd like to introduce you to one of the many students of CWI, Megan Carter, the Associated Student Government President. Megan is working towards a double major in anthropology and biology with healthcare as an emphasis. Since joining ASCWI, she has worked to connect students to the college through a variety of activities. And I will tell you that this year, you're going to be shocked and amazed at student government and what student government does. Megan has had huge impact in engaging students, bringing them to the front, and actively involving them in our success and how we serve students. In addition to her 2 years of work with the ASCWI, she has helped all around campus through the work of individual clubs, developing UROC. How many of you know what UROC is? It's not Uran, it's UROC, okay? And that's our clubs and our organizations, which I think they've almost doubled again. We've got more clubs and organizations going. She's been competing in the speech and debate team and now building a comprehensive diversity program for CWI students, which we desperately need in order to serve our total population throughout the Western Treasure Valley. Please join me in welcoming Megan Carter as our president of CWI to speak to us this morning.
Well, hello. I think this is my fourth in-service, my fourth address that I've attended. And it's amazing to see how much has changed and how much has changed within ASCWI and CWI as a whole, and Idaho and education as a whole in the last 2 years. And I could not be more excited for the next year ahead. I was thinking about what I would say, what points I wanted to hit today with you all. And I was thinking about where we started. When I started with ASCWI, it was May of 2012. I went in for my interview, and I was shaking in my seat because I was so intimidated by these leaders, these student leaders who were interviewing me. And I'm like, I have no idea what politics is all about. I have no idea what I'm doing here, but I'm going to try it out anyway. And I did. And it ended up being one of the most rewarding experiences that I've ever been involved in. And I love to be able to share that with everyone. Things that were already in place or sort of in the works when I joined ASCWI in that summer of 2012, we had a brand new constitution. We were just becoming an entity unto ourselves. We had polled students about the smoking ordinance, or excuse me, not the ordinance, it's not a city here, the smoking policy, which will go into effect in January. And we had worked with students and heard their concerns, and the traffic light at Birch was something that they really wanted to see, something that was extremely important for student safety. So that's kind of where things were when we got started, when I started with ASCWI. In the last 2 years, we have made enormous strides. For a brand new organization, for a baby organization, we've done some pretty amazing things. We've really hit home with community service, reaching out into our community, not only at CWI, but all around our area, with the food bank, with animal shelters. We've increased our blood drive presence at every single one of our turnouts for our blood drives, which the Red Cross is very pleased with. And we have one coming up in September if you're interested. We've built relationships with other Idaho schools. It started out with meeting some North Idaho college students at a conference, and we became friends with them. And we started chatting and talking and said, well, why don't we do this more often? So we reached out and we spoke with students from The University of Idaho, Boise State, and CWI student governments have a great relationship now. And we've met students from all across the state and heard what our students will face when they leave CWI, when they go on to that 4-year university, if that's their choice. And one of my favorite accomplishments from ASCWI in this last year has been UROC. It stands for United Registered Organizations and Clubs. We started out with a handful of people sitting in our office, kind of looking at each other saying, what do we do with this? We want to get all the clubs together, but how do we motivate them? And over the last year and a half, we have gone from that handful of people in an office to 30 clubs and organizations getting together every week to create change for clubs, to create improvements for students and more opportunities for every single club. In the next year, we have even more growth to look forward to. We're adding more opportunities for students to get involved, whether it be within their classroom, within helping another peer, whatever that may look like. We're creating more opportunities for that to happen. We're also focusing on developing those student leaders and developing those skills so that when they get into those positions, that they feel confident in their ability to do their job and to take that job outside of CWI and into their careers, into their families, and into their futures. And then, of course, we are also creating an attitude that values diversity in all of its forms. Every single one of our students has a unique story and a unique voice that needs to be included. And that's one of my personal priorities for ASCWI. And of course, we couldn't do all of this, any of this, without all of your supports. Every single person in this room makes a contribution to what we do with ASCWI. So I'll ask you this for this next year. If you see a student that is interested in getting involved, that you see has potential and talent and drive and is kind of unsure or is perfectly sure, direct them to get involved in student organizations. It could be a club, it could be student government, it could be volunteering with the tutoring center or anywhere on campus. Encourage them to get involved. And if they're not sure where they want to go, send them to me. I will gladly help guide them. We have a great office with student life and student enrichment that can help with that as well. So I want to say thank you to all of you for your support and your encouragement, not only for ASCWI, but for every student within our college. Thank you.
We have a video right now.
CWI is a great place to go to school at, mainly because
you're not just another number or another person paying tuition.
A student can go into a class and he or she can get to know his or her professor.
You can't get the same kind of education anywhere.
The attitudes of everybody around, students and faculty combined, everybody's so compassionate.
They want to see you be the best that you can be, and they're there for all of that, from beginning to the end.
The education you get is top-notch. The experiences you get are, bar none, the best.
That's the most exciting day of our life, isn't it? Every year, that's the greatest time that we have. I want you to think about one thing. Yes, I'm deviating from the script. It's okay, relax. I want you to think about one thing, because I asked Cabinet literally, I think it was a couple weeks ago, just a simple question. What's the most important thing you do every day? I want you to think about that as I'm wandering through the room. You're going to get nervous the closer I get to your table, but that's okay. What's the most important thing you do every day? And the reason this came up is because I kind of had an epiphany about 2 or 3 weeks ago when we were talking about the dynamics. My constant phrase out in the community is, we change people's lives. CWI changes people's lives for dynamic purposes forever. And I believe that beyond a doubt. And it came to mind, actually my wife reminded me, I was working, when I was going through college, I cleaned dormitory rooms during the break periods. And I worked with a really older guy, totally no education whatsoever. He's from a little tiny country. Does anybody know where Estonia is? Where's our Estonia? He was from Estonia, and they have a huge hatred for Russians, and they're very opinionated people, kind of like us. But he taught me really some good lessons during the 3 weeks that we worked together cleaning dormitory rooms. And his philosophy was Maslow's hierarchy of needs broken down into 4 statements. And he said, you guys in America really don't understand. He says the most important thing, there's 4 things that you need to do every day. First one is get up. Get up. He said the second one is show up, because being there is one of the most important things you can do to make a difference and have an impact. And he said in America, he says, I'm always amazed. He said, you need to stand up. You in America have opportunities that we in Europe and other parts of the world aren't allowed to stand up and have an opinion and be able to have converse and discourse in terms of having an opinion positively, constructively. He says, you need to stand up. And he said, the last thing you need to do in your life is lift up. And he said, if you don't every day look for somebody to lift up, he said, you missed the opportunity of a lifetime. America is land of the free. Opportunity prevails everywhere. There's hope. And sometimes we watch too much of the TV news and we lose this ability to understand CWI is the opportunity and the hope for the Western Treasure Valley. And if you don't believe that in your very heart and soul, then you've missed the whole point of how we became a nationally recognized college in our first year of existence. No college had ever grown at the rate we grew in our first year of operating. No college ever in the history of community college grew like we did. And it wasn't just numbers, because we're going to go through a bunch of numbers. But it wasn't just numbers. Look at the students that came out of the first year, second year of that program that were nationally recognized, that were high quality students because you took an interest in them and had impact, making a difference in their lives, showing them that there was not only opportunity, but there was hope that they could be better and do better than they'd done before. And that's, if we don't take anything out of this meeting this morning, please put that in your heart, put that in your mind, put that in your soul, that is the reason we are so successful. That's the reason, and the measurement of success is that we're changing student lives. We're making a whole new culture here in the Western Treasure Valley. I just want to take time to acknowledge some of the remarkable differences that we made in this last year. And I'm able to see I'm not able to actually see all the individual differences, but the benefit to the community and the praises from supporters and sharing stories. Margaret, our student speaker this morning, who you'll hear from in just a few minutes, with people from the community. These life-changing stories, and I cannot emphasize enough, these are life-changing stories. And believe me, if you haven't had a chance to hear about them or an opportunity to share them with your fellow colleagues and professional friends here, please start sharing the stories that are going around about life-changing experiences for our students. The past year was filled with more extraordinary achievements at the College of Western Idaho, and each of you in this room and throughout the community have helped make these achievements a reality. Whether you are a janitor helping a student get to a class, or showing them a direction, or telling them they need to go to Ada County because they're in Canyon County. Helping a student understand the difficult concepts, or an administrator helping facilitating resources the college needs, you make a difference. And believe me, if there's nothing else, start to understand that you have impact. No matter who you are in this room, you have impact on students. During the past year, we supported students expanding facilities, introducing new programs, and implementing support on retention efforts. CWI also continued developing employee support, community relations, and a foundation for long-term sustainability, all of which directly impacts our students' ability to achieve their goals, academic goals. Last year, 19,000, am I in anybody's way? I'm usually not, but that's okay. Last year, 19,684 students came to CWI to further their education. This includes degree seeking, students, industry professionals, individuals seeking basic education, and community members looking to update specific skills. This year, we do not anticipate enrollment growth. Does everybody hear that? This year, we don't anticipate enrollment growth. It would seem to me there would be a huge hue and cry from the crowd going, finally! Don't relax, we probably will have some, but supposedly we're not anticipating it. But we're looking at continuing to see our retention and completion efforts increase as CW implements a number of programs to promote college readiness and program excellence. Let me restate retention and completion. We are going to be measured, and that's going to be one of the #1 metrics on students' success is retention and completion. Idaho has a dismal data on this. We aren't really a shining star on retention and completion. One of the key things we really want to look at this coming year is how do we get students, and we take students. Somebody asked me the other day, they said, well, you know, your go-on rate isn't as good as maybe BSU's or University of Idaho. Says, hey, who comes to CWI? Everybody, anybody. It doesn't matter. We don't screen out. We bring anybody into the school. That's why we become literally the signal and the sign and the icon for hope, is because it doesn't matter what their past is, we take them in and we figure out how to make them more successful from wherever they're at today. CWI celebrated the awarding of 1,260 degrees and certificates, more than 2,000 GEDs, and last spring, and this is nearly a 62% increase in degrees and certificates awarded in 2014 compared to 13. Just imagine what we can do this coming year. With student success at the center of our focus, several CWI efforts in 2013-14 revolved around college readiness and retention. In academic affairs, we took a critical look at the delivery of developmental instruction to identify opportunities to increase support to students. Last spring, we introduced a new concept, a new approach to developmental English and launched the English 101 Plus. How many were involved in that? Stand up. Give them a hand. Stand them up. How many were involved in English 101 Plus? This model, which Brenda, were we the only school in Idaho to do this? Oh, we could have been the only school? No, we're not. We're not the only school. All right. I thought we were the only school. At least that's what I told the other presidents. This model resulted in 89.5% of all developmental students passing and receiving college credit for English 101. Huge, huge impact. The previous model, how many, not those that are in English 101, the previous model, how many people were successful in the previous model before we introduced English 101? We jumped to 89.5. Where do we jump from? What percent to 89.5? 6? 60? 50? Previously, 31% of English 015 students and 55% of English 090 students persisted and learned in the college. This is a magnanimous jump. And Brenda, you were on the state, weren't you on the state committee that helped move it? Brenda, stand up. Brenda was one of the drivers at the state level to make this happen. You know what, we got to get through this talk here. Okay, I'm just going to throw the sheets as I read them, okay? I'm not going to get away from it. Academic affairs, with students' success focus in CWI, oh, we just did the English, that's gone, okay. Successful starts. Got successful starts? Wait a minute, I lost a page. Wing it, just wing it. Professional technical programs, learning community coordinators. Another great concept here at CWI, we brought on learning community coordinators. The group provides direct support to students for each PTE program, including hosting a summer reboot camp to help prepare incoming students, improve compass placement, scores, and acclimatize students with college resources. Thanks to the hard work of the learning community coordinators, along with the elimination of CWI graduation application fee, the college experienced a 422% increase in the number of PTE graduates. Are the learning coordinators here? Can we have the, Will, are the learning coordinators here? Come on, stand up, learning coordinators. Woo! Woo! Are we great or what? Okay. Most recently, CWI showed a commitment in preparing students from the beginning by developing and implementing a Successful Start initiative. How many are involved in Successful Start initiative? Here we go. Come on, come on, come on. Show you. Okay. Students starting this fall semester, which starts Monday. Already, we're there. This fall semester have to complete an admission process 2 weeks before classes start. Attend a required orientation, advising, and registration session, and complete the class registration and payment prior to the start of class. Why do we do this? Kevin, why do we do this?
Students are more successful if they're ready to go when class starts.
Students are more successful if they're ready to go when class starts. What does this affect? Retention. What else does it affect? Completion. What else does it affect? That's why our enrollment is flat. Our enrollment is flat for a specific reason, because when we went to this model, we said students are more important that students succeed than students just get in. And that is a significant difference. You're going to hear about this. We're going to hear about it in the region too. We're flat because we made a decision that student success was more important than just getting in. A typical community college, that's okay. Yeah, that's all right. He thinks that's important. What's your name? Okay. Good, okay. Typically what happens at a community college nationally, as far as enrollment, is 60% of the enrollment occurs when? The week before school starts, which means the student is not prepared, they're not ready, and we've also found out there's national data that shows if they don't have their textbooks, which 50-some% don't have their textbooks the first day of school, they're behind the day they show up. Exactly right. We have made a conscious decision to change that model. And I'm going to tell you something, we're going to reap the benefits. Yes, we're flat number-wise, but yes, we're going to reap the benefits, because I know we're going to look at we're going to become a huge model for retention and completion. And I want to applaud those. Who's your group that did this, that made this happen? Everybody stand up and get it. The whole team stand up. Give them a hand. Give them a hand. Another celebrated accomplishment for the college this past year is the incredible growth in the number of students completing college credits while in high school. Dual credit, 2013-14 dual credit program partnered with 60 high schools. 60 high schools. And how come that faded out like that? Across Idaho to help students earn 14,663 credit hours. From 2013 to 2014, CWI realized a 97% increase in dual credit student headcount and a 123% increase in dual credits. Eric, where's your team? Have your team stand up. Who's faculty that were involved in dual credit? Faculty, stand up. Come on, those that are involved in helping this happen. Yeah.
When we talk dual credit, we talk about the dual credit office. But the people in this room that make it happen, you know who you are.
Stand up, those of you that are in the room. Come on, come on. There you go, now we're talking. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the future. We are the future community college. We're the future college of the future. Dual credit is going to play a bigger and bigger role in moving students. When you have Albertsons talk about go on and how go on is we're the worst in the country, Idaho's got the lowest go on rate. Dual credit is going to be one of those key significant factors that start moving things forward for us. And we're also going to be talking about tech prep too as well in terms of how we make that happen. We are now significantly in the state of Idaho one of the major deliverers of dual credit, and that is going to play a key role across the state. Together, we make a difference. Believe me, we have a huge, huge impact, not just in the Western Treasure Valley, but we're modeling some high profile and some best practices that the rest of the state's looking at in a big way. While we continue to make strides with the college readiness, one important factor we have not lost sight of is the necessity to remain affordable. Once again, CWI's Board of Trustees kept our cost per credit at $136, which is significant when considering the rising cost of education. Last year, more than 8,400 students received some disbursement of financial aid, totaling more than $42.8 million in grants, scholarships, and student loans. Nearly half of these came from the federal Pell Grants. With students borrowing on the rise, I'm sure you're all aware. If you aren't, you need to be aware that there is more in this country today, right now, there is more student loan debt than there is credit card debt in the country. And if you look at that, well, everybody goes, oh, wow, that's really bad. Think about your sons and daughters that are graduating from school, or you who are graduating from your master's degree or your doctorate program. We are indebting the next generation. And when you talk about having opportunity and hope, if you leave school and you can't make enough money to pay off your student loans within the first 10 to 15 years, what have we done to the country? We've taken away that hope and that opportunity of a better life. This generation coming up will not have it as good, and it's known statistically, as the previous generation. They will not have everything that we've had in this last generation. One of the things we can do to make a difference is reduce the student loan debt and find ways to help students stay out of debt or move in a very positive fashion to be able to pay it off quickly. With student borrowing at the rise both locally and nationally, CWI implemented a number of proactive strategies designed to support students in their student loan choices. We now provide all of our students free financial literacy resources as well as follow-up support to all students who have borrowed at CWI, graduate or otherwise moved on. In addition to information and resources about smart borrowing, we redesigned our student loan packaging process with an emphasis on making smart, informed choices about debt. In the 2013-14 year, CWI students chose to borrow 38% less than the prior year, a significant and positive step towards curbing overborrowing, excessive levels of student debt. Financial aid, stand up. Let's give them a hand. This is a huge, huge step. Oh, come on. Oh, financial aid's still out giving money away. So I would footnote this particular statement that quite likely we will hit the national scene as being one of the best practices and the new model for the future as to how colleges are going to handle financial aid. It has been a long time coming and the government doesn't know what to do about it, but the student loan debt issue is going to be a major issue in the coming years, and we're obviously modeling some of the best practices to move forward. I don't think anybody in this room that's been here for the last 3 or 4 years has any misunderstanding about accreditation. We're close. We are very, very close. This fall, CWI will complete another important milestone of our quest for independent accreditation as we are submitting our third year, year 3 report, hosting a group from the Northwest Commission on Colleges and Universities. The team will arrive October 8th and 9th. October 8th and 9th, we'll have two people that'll be wandering the campuses. So on those 2 dates in particular, try and get them signed up for classes while they're here so that we can get more FTE. But be sure to be aware that we will have 2 of the commissioners from the Northwest Commission that will be on campus evaluating, looking at us, taking a look. And this is one of the last steps before we receive our full accreditation, which we will have a huge, second to the last step. It's my last step, second to last step. But we are going to have a huge celebration when this comes to fruition at the end. This is one of the biggest milestones we can do, and quite frankly, congratulations to all of you. I saw the year three report. We're looking good. You're looking good. Give yourself a hand on that one. That's a great. In today's world, none of us would choose to be involved in this conversation, but in today's world, and particularly over the last year, our colleges and universities, CWI has implemented several safety procedures, developing comprehensive emergency plan, assembling response teams, and developing training videos to the campus community to prepare faculty, staff, and students for potential dangerous situations. This is the reality. This is the world we live in. This is what we need to address. We need to be as prepared, as best prepared as we can for the ultimate occurrence that may happen. Hopefully not in our lifetime on our campus, but obviously if you read the news or watch anything, this is a reality in today's world. The college has also formed a weapons on campus task force that worked diligently to evaluate changes on our campus needed to make in response to the new legislation allowing individuals with enhanced concealed carry permits to carry guns on our campus. CWI boards of trustees approved updates to our safety policy, and the college has created additional procedures and frequently asked question sheets to available on the website to help guide faculty and staff in this endeavor. Additionally, to continue to provide a safe campus community, staff and faculty will be participating this week in training opportunity that addresses very important and challenging subject matter: student behavior and the need to report and provide more effective intervention. Educational training will be hosted by CWI's Higher Ed Risk Management Consultant, NCHERM. NCHERM, thank you. That's why I don't do names. They don't allow me to do names, okay? NCHERM, we are looking forward to the opportunity to learn more about what we as a college can do to help our students, and I'm confident that our college campus, that this will be a great learning environment. Small acts make a big difference. At this time, we have started a tradition at CWI of inviting exceptional students to come and speak at our orientation and our opening in services every year. This year I'm so pleased to have the pleasure of introducing Margaret Slater. Margaret grew up here in the Treasure Valley and now lives in Caldwell. She was homeschooled and attained her GED through CWI in 2013. She then transitioned to CWI and is pursuing a degree in biology with emphasis in healthcare. Margaret is also currently serving as the president of Phi Theta Kappa, the Honor Society, here at CWI. Margaret has always loved learning and is excited to be starting her second year at CWI. In addition to being an outstanding student, she is an outstanding mother. Please join me in welcoming Margaret Slater to the stage. Thank you.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Dr. Glandon.
Bert.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take a moment to thank Dr. Glandon and everyone for inviting me out here today. This has been one of the greatest privileges I have ever received. Thank you. My name is Margaret Slater, and I have been involved as a student with College of Western Idaho for almost a year and a half. And although it may not seem like a long time, allow me to share with you some of my experiences and opportunities with this school that have made an impact in my life. For the first 18 years of my life, I was homeschooled. I came out without a diploma or degree. The only thing I had going for me at the time was my basic love for learning. Then life happened and I became a parent. I realized the day my son was born, while gazing into his deep gray eyes, that I have a responsibility for this child. And I wasn't sure how to get there, but with fire in me, I wanted to be more for this child than what I had to offer. And let me tell you, I was scared out of my mind stepping into the College of Western Idaho. I had no clue what I was doing, where I was going, and what I was getting myself into. Then I met the faculty at Adult Basic Skills Education. First, I want to say that you guys are amazing. Where are you? And for the love of God, please keep doing what you're doing. Please. There is something to be said about starting from scratch. And the hardest part of the whole thing is getting over what little self-esteem you are walking into this with. And with that being said, I never got the chance to truly thank my teachers for how much they have encouraged me and how they have gone the extra mile to help me just get to class and keep my chin up. Brad Russell went the extra mile when I couldn't attend the practice exam because I couldn't find a babysitter. He helped me find resources for a sitter to make sure that I was there. And Vicki Hatfield, one of my teachers, shared with the class a poem that to this day I will never forget. It's called The Bottom Line, and the words from it taught me a lot about the way that life works. That you can't blame others for your failures, and that you are accountable for your own choices, no one else. I want to thank you guys and everyone involved with the Adult Basic Skills Education program. You've all played a major role in my life, and the woman I am today, thank you. Since then, I have taken college courses, all of which have been rich in information and beneficial to my education. I cherish all of my teachers, advisors, and the staff, the tutor lab. I cannot begin to thank Mark and everyone involved with the tutoring program. They have been a blessing every day, believe me. I've had an amazing experience with the CNA program here at CWI. Yes. Lois Moore is an amazing instructor and a person I will never forget, as well as Pam Hodges. I hope she's here. Sorry for bothering you so much, Pam. Now I gotta find where I'm at. Oh, yes. The program was thorough, and I have gained a major experience working with all kinds of patients and residents, and learning in depth about proper nursing assistant care. I would like to take a moment to thank all of my teachers that I have had for each course. They have been amazing, and I will carry the tools and education they brought to my life and run with it. Allow me also to say this. The staff at CWI have been incredible. With every question, every challenge, every concern I have had with this school, you guys have had my back. Everyone working here, I don't care who you are. You are amazing, and you have made a difference in my life. Janitors and security guards, I'm talking about you guys too. I have never stepped foot into CWI without being greeted by a warm smile and on-the-ball assistance with anything I have ever needed. Since being elected President of Honor Society here at CWI, I have been humbled by the opportunity to have met personally some of the most amazing people. These are people with incredible insight and encouragement. And let me tell you, there is something to be said about this. I have never been told no. I have never been told you cannot. I have never had an idea shut down or belittled. Jenica Sue, Michelle Kane, you ladies have embraced me, everything that I am and what I stand for. I want to thank you for letting me shine. You have allowed me to express a part of me that I have only itched to develop and contour, and that is the lovely virtue of being bossy. And for the rest of you that I have yet to meet, watch out. I am ambition on steroids. I conquer and I achieve, but if you allow me a runway and the tools to succeed, I promise I will work wonders for you. When I graduate from the nursing program here, I would like to move on to a university where I would like to get my bachelor's or even my master's. One of the lessons I have learned here at CWI is to dream big. And anything is possible. I would like to stay active within CWI in many ways. I would like to be involved with adult basic skills education, as well as collaborating with CWI members for the development of future programs. But most of all, to maybe give future students what CWI has given me. To conclude, I have been waiting for the moment to say thank you to everyone at CWI. I want you to know that you have made a difference in us. You have made a difference in my life. I would not be the woman I am today if it weren't for you. You have given my dreams and ambitions wings to fly. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Wonderful job. You did a great job. Well, that's about it. I got 33 more pages, but we aren't going through them now. Nice job. What's the most important thing you do every day? Talk to students. Talk to students. I hope you there are hundreds of these stories. When you have 20,000, 19,000 students, there's hundreds of these stories every day. And I really want you to think long and hard. If you've had lunch, if you're at work and you've had lunch and you haven't had the opportunity to lift somebody up, I'd say, oh, I still got 4 hours in the afternoon to figure this out. I need to find somebody to lift them up. Because we have 20,000 plus students walking around campus like Margaret, like Megan, like the others that come. We've had presentations before the board where I had to go out and buy boxes of Kleenex. We have stories that never end. And yes, anecdotal stories don't sell the JFACT or the budget board or all that kind of stuff. But I'm going to tell you something. I live for it. I live to work at a place where you're changing people's lives in such a phenomenal way that they'll never recover from it. Many people have said, when are you going to retire? You're old, you look bad. You know. I don't know what I would do. And I got to tell you, working at a college is one of the best things to keep you young. The freshmen are younger every year they come. But it's the best thing in the world to keep you young and vital and alive and understanding what life is all about. This is what life is all about, not the 5 o'clock news. This is the difference right here. And you're making it, and you're making it every day. Don't let lunch go by without asking the question, what's the most important thing for me to do today? And have I done it yet? Have I found somebody to lift up? Because that's going to make us the best school in the country as far as understanding what our mission really is. Yes, our mission is to educate, but look at the students that we have and what we're doing with them to not just educate them, but to change their lives. CWI students continue to build upon a growing tradition of success in skill competitions in 3 student organizations: Speech and Debate, Business Professionals of America, and Skills USA. Provided their knowledge and ability was on par with the nation's best and brightest students. CWI Speech and Debate earned a national runner-up finalist finish. And I have to tell you that I had to go meet with the speech and debate team. runner-up in the nation, is number 2 out of 2,000 community colleges in the country. In the country. Now, how great is that? Well, it was depressing for them because they won 3 national titles prior. We had to bring psychiatrists in to work with them for a week or 2. It's okay to be number 2. I say, what we have done here is unbelievable. The business and the Skills USA brought back over 19 individuals with top 10 awards nationally. We're only 5 years old. How many 5-year-olds bring back 19 national titles? I don't know any 5-year-old that's done that, okay? I mean, we're amazing. We're absolutely an amazing organization. These competitions only validate the quality of education and skills our students receive, and also provide an incredible opportunity to share their passion, as Margaret just did, and commitment to higher education. You in the classroom, we don't just teach. You on the front lines in registration, you don't just advise. You make people believe in themselves. I can teach math. No, I can't. I could teach math. It wouldn't be correct, but I could teach it. There's a difference between teaching and truly educating people. And we're in the business of truly educating people. I couldn't be prouder to be involved in an organization that understands the difference between just teaching students to get through a class and actually finding ways to make them successful no matter what they're doing and bring them along. The past year, CWI managed to provide several new opportunities to students by successfully utilizing partnerships with industry as well as other colleges and universities. Again, this is the model of the future. Let me sound the bell now that this is going to be the model of the future. We introduced 2 new professional technical programs that would have not been possible without tremendous collaborations. The first partnership was with Western States CAT. We created a 2-year program at CWI geared towards training heavy equipment technicians for their company. The second, CWI joined forces with the College of Southern Idaho, Lewis and Clark College, and North Idaho College to create a physical therapy assistant consortium program. In the academic affairs, CWI joined the I Do Teach program partnership with offer STEM, science, technology, engineering, math majors, the opportunity to explore the world of teaching. The program is supported by over 35 universities nationally, including BSU and CSI. And on the horizon for this year, we are submitted grants for a new advanced manufacturing program and are partnering with the Department of Labor and the Global Talent Initiative to assist in highly skilled refugees attain degrees. Through our workforce development programs, the college has served over 8,200 students in FY14, and the apprenticeship program increased enrollment by 108%. Nice job. Overall placement rate in the workforce development programs was at 70%. Many of the programs in workforce development moved this summer to locations that facilitate a closer alliance between the credit programs, providing increased sharing of resources. We are moving the workforce program into the Micron Center so that we can get collaboration and we can move on our professional technical programs, having greater advantages with business and industry as well. This is going to be also a new model. Transfer support. Okay, let's go to that one. We have phenomenal collaboration with K-12, and we are, if you don't know, we have transfer agreements with every public and private university. And obviously our closest partner right now is BSU. They're on our campus. And in case you didn't know, many people talk about the 150 acres in Nampa. Actually, we only have 100 acres. BSU kept 50 acres, the back 50 acres. And so you're fully aware, this is when they agreed to give us the building and the 100 acres in the front, and they kept the 50 acres in the back, and they said, we want to see how you perform, how you're doing. So 5, 6 years later, they say, how you doing? We're doing great. They said, we would like to really be serious partners where we have one application form. We'd like to be serious partners where you're transferred direct. We'd like to be serious partners where we have physical facilities on your campus. And of course now, we hear a lot from ISU and University of Idaho. They would like the same kind of relationship. This again is best practices and model for the future. Last year, college welcomed the first partnering university, Boise State University, to CWI opened its doors. And if you've been in the Aspen Creek building, the little L-shaped building, this is what you'll see. In fact, I think they're actually, Craig, aren't they walling in that now? They're walling it in and making it a permanent shot. Extended Studies Nampa campus staff from Boise State University Extended Studies program is located in Aspen Creek Classroom Building, assisted CWI students interested in continuing their education at Boise State. Additionally, this fall, Boise State is delivering several courses on CWI's campus in the evenings and weekends to provide additional accessibility to the Canyon County students. College of Western Idaho has continued to work with all Idaho partnering universities to implementing strong applications and provide articulations and provide easy transfer access beyond the studies of CWI. We are continuing to engage and expand our campus so that all these universities can participate. This again is a huge benefit to students. If they can move right on and stay on the same campus, that is a huge benefit. One person can make a difference. Everyone should try. Again, if you're sitting in this room and you believe that you're not a part of this role, whether you're brand new or been here 5 years, and no matter what your job is, no matter what your profession is, if you don't think you can make a difference, you're missing the whole point of where we're at and what we're doing. I don't care if you're working in the back room, as I affectionately refer to the bean counters. If you're bean counters are great people, and they actually love to get out and try and have impact with students as well, and they can. CWI cultivated growth of business partnerships by 45% last year. That's a huge. Programs from across the college are striving to connect students with the community through service learning opportunities. Thousands of students receive real-world education opportunities through internships, externships throughout the community. And students in CWI's academic transfer programs completed more than 8,300 student community hours in the 2013-14 academic year. Again, another best practices and another model that we're engaged in. In addition to reaching out to the community, CWI has also committed to keeping its doors open to the public. One way we have illustrated this is by inviting community to utilize our facilities and trainings, meetings, conferences, and community well-being. The Micron Center was a huge boost for us to actually have facilities that we could provide to the community. The fiscal year 2014, non-CWI organizations used the college facilities for a total of 1,042 hours. A few highlights of major activities of our campus include holding the State Board of Education, and by the way, many of you probably go, oh yeah, big deal. State Board of Education. We report through them, but we have our own Board of Trustees, which is our governing board. We set a whole new standard. And I will tell you that it was all of you. There is a group in the marketing department and in service department. We set a whole new standard. Every month, the State Board of Education goes to one of the colleges or universities in the state. And every other December, they come to CWI. And the first one, they were absolutely, I will tell you, they're still talking about the first state board meeting at CWI. We had it in the Aspen Creek building. And I think we had Santa Claus show up. And we had all kinds of things. We had students. I think it was one of the first ones where we had student speakers came in and made presentations. They talked about that for 2 years until we had the second state board meeting at CWI, where we had them in the diesel lab. They were stunned. In fact, two of the board members wanted to get up on the 2-story tractor and try and drive it around for an hour or two. We had Santa's shop with candy canes. It was an amazing, amazing feat. They have never quit talking about that one for the last 2 years. We are a model for the state in terms of how we deliver in terms of our community service. We hosted the STEM Teacher Conference, Idaho Youth Challenge Academy, Counselors Days, and once again CWI hosted the Nampa Youth Soccer Program. In case you don't know it, if you're not here on Friday or Saturday, there's a couple thousand kids from little to teenage play soccer on our campus. And when we put out the campus master plan, which you're going to see over in the corner is the new campus, I'll talk about that in a minute, that was a real concern with the city of Nampa as to whether they'd still have soccer fields to play on, because that was a major. As well as classical contests and many other community activities on the campus. These activities deliver a great value to the community and provide great opportunity for college to showcase our programs and our facilities. Strategy makes a difference. This year, CWI, I'm down. We're almost done. CWI, relax, it's okay. This is big words, 4 words per page. This year, CWI Board of Trustees approved a $53.52 million budget. Tuition and fee revenue is projected to decrease slightly based on 2 things. The enrollment, we're looking at flat enrollment because of the new things we've instituted to assure student success. And the fact that, I don't know how many of you are fully aware, at a typical community college, nationally, students' average credit load would be about 6.5 credits per student, which means there's a lot of more part-time students than full-time students. CWI, when we opened to have students on campus, we were running 11.7 credits per student on average, which was unheard of. Everything we did was unheard of as we started. We are now down. Our loads dropped significantly. We're now down, I have no idea what we're down to now. It doesn't say. Is 8 point something? We've dropped from 11, we're down to 8 point, which is still 2 or 3 credits more per student than the national average. So we're still running fairly high on that. The college total budget decreased by 0.8% as compared to the fiscal year 2014 originally approved budget. The College Western Idaho Foundation also continues to back CWI's financial goals, providing support to students, programs, and general infrastructure. Last year, the foundation secured 16 grants on behalf of the college, which provided more than $424,000 in funding. They also awarded more than $330,000 in scholarships to students and secured support for the CWI speech and debate program through the Wells Fargo, which helped the team travel to regional and nationals. The foundation made its largest contribution to CWI, however, by donating the Micron Center, which was originally gifted to the foundation. They donated it to the college. The college would also like to acknowledge CWI employees who together, the employees rose over $6,800 in annual giving, which directly supported 10 mini grants, 19 scholarships, and 24 students in the Success Student Fund. This year, Mitch Minetti is going to, as our new foundation executive director, and the foundation board will continue to help cultivate new donors, relationships, and invite supporters to our campus. This is going to be one of our shining stars at the next report next year is the foundation. It is just starting to emerge as a sophisticated foundation and move forward in significantly raising funds to help us achieve our goals. Visualize how we can make a difference. One critical part of the college facility development this past year was growing its presence in the Boise to better serve Boise students. As you know, about 80% of our students come out of the Ada County area. We are looking at newly expanded Ada County campus. The expansion allows for consolidation of programs from 3 separate locations in Eagle and Boise, including 2 programs from Boise State University. Additional library and student services were expanded to better serve students in Boise, and this fall, in the fall of 13, 56% of CWI's credit student population came from Ada County, of the credit population. CWI also took a visionary step forward in Nampa, part of which involved completing an updated to the Nampa Campus Master Plan. The updated master plan reflects a more current and comprehensive view of this campus and the future growth and development. The process, which was supported through the State Permanent Building Fund, included collaborative visioning and working sessions that engaged the college community, agencies, surrounding communities, and the new plan updates of the 2010 plan looking at growth estimates for 2040. And actually, we have a running video that's going to be over there. You can take a look at it. It's on our website. And I will tell you, that is a thrill to take a look at how the Napa campus might be explored. Additionally, CWI completed major programming projects for the Student Center and the Health Sciences Building. The Student Center is the bottom one, and the Health Sciences Building is the top one, and these are renderings as to what they might look like. Is that an icon building or what? Are those icon buildings? Does that look like CWI? The bottom one with the CWI, the only thing I actually have is the CWI. The rest of it's all glass. It's amazing. Of course, there's a lot of glass on the upper one, too. That's so we can see out, vision. We can look forward. The process of both these projects involved input and vision from board planning teams and steering committees. The new Student Center is programmed to include over 160,000 square feet of space, including student life, student services, library, learning commons, food service, including culinary arts program, retail services, including the bookstore, conference center, and administration and facility services. The 82,000 square foot health sciences building reflects the consolidation and expansion of the college's health science programs and associated academic labs and classrooms in a single location. The college is in the process of assessing priorities of the expansion and funding options to start the build-out in this coming year.
The entire staff of CWI, thank you for supporting all of us in our endeavors and our future endeavors. May we all rock together.
Yes.
I did it. Thank you to the CWI administration, my advisors, my teachers. I never would have gotten this far without you guys.
You know, I'm making my family very proud at my age.
I'd like to be able to give something back to my community, and during my time here, I've been given the skills to do that.
This is definitely one of my best accomplishments.
Thank you for helping me get to where I needed to in order to graduate and move on with my future.
I'd like to thank all my instructors here at CWI. They were the best.
Education is the key, is the way of life.
Starting college, it's just opened up so many new things in my life, and the opportunities are endless at this point.
This day means everything to me. It's my future. It's how I'm going to support my family.
Viva CWI!
Well, I want to thank you for coming to another in-service of our introductions to the new year. I am, believe me, proud and humbled to be the president of what I consider the college of the future. And I can't thank you enough for your passion, commitment, and dedication to making literally this college the best college and the college of the future. You have done in the first 5-6 years here a phenomenal job. In fact, many people on the national level that I run into say, well, what are you going to do next year? I mean, how are you going to outdo what you've done this last year? And we do. We just come up with new ways. And I think it's because you believe that we make a difference like nobody else can. And it makes my life I'm living the dream. And I hope you're living the dream, because what we're doing is unparalleled anywhere. Thank you for coming out. We're going to take a short break. We need everybody to stay. We're going to do, let me make sure, okay, I'll go back and read it so I've got it right. We'll take a short break now. Before we transition to internal awards and discussion, employees, please return here in about 10 minutes for an important employee announcement and awards. Thank you, those of you from the community that came. We want to thank our superintendents that came. Dwight, thanks for coming. Our board members, Stan, thank you very much for not wearing a tie. I really appreciate that. I want to thank each and every one of you. And again, let's have a great year. Let's go out with a great year. Let's take a 10-minute break, but let's be back in 10 minutes. Thank you.